as you saw there, most of Miller's gutters are white. And that's not to say that all gutters have to be white, because I've read probably hundreds of comic books by now, and gutter colors can be pretty much any color you want, any color, any width, any way you want them to be. But for the most part, they stay pretty standard throughout a book. That's not to say they have to, though. Now, changing the color of the gutter partway through a book can really have an impact if used well. For example, in The Dark Knight Returns, Miller changes his gutter colors twice in the entire book. And both times it's from the standard white on a complete chromatic shift to black. And both times he uses it to display something important that's going on in the book. Reflect what's going on in the panels the gutters are surrounding. The first time it happens is on page 131, which details the news backlash of a poison gas attack that the Joker has staged on a TV station, and also shows his visiting to an aged Selina Kyle, who most of you probably know a little better as Catwoman. And, well, Catwoman is no longer being Catwoman. Instead, she's running an escort service, or, to be a little less polite, a brothel. But that's not our goal right here, so let's move on. As you can see, the gutter colors here are pitch black, and probably wondering where this exactly ties in. Now, as I'm sure you're aware because of the way society obsesses with any and all things random about color, or what day you were born on, so on and so forth, colors have meanings to humans. And black obviously has a lot of negative connotations. Here we're seeing the black is showing the evil in Joker's soul. Because, let's face it, the man has to have some twisted black husk of humanity for a soul at this point. But really, that's the most obvious of the reasons for using the black. And if you read a little further into it, you're also seeing that this black is almost a mourning for both the obvious deaths of the people of the TV audience that Joker's just murdered, but also for Selina Kyle. Because she's fallen, if not from grace, then at least from dignity. And I mean, that's something that at least she would obviously want to grieve over. Now, I said there were 2 times that Miller used the black gutters. And that first example was only a single page. Now, the second time is a full 17-page run from pages 167 to pages 184. Which cover a blackout in Gotham City as a result of the detonation of a nuclear device. Now, for those of you who know, the standard format for a comic book, just a standard comic book, only has about 32 pages of actual material. So, 17 pages, that's at least half of a book. Now, as you can see, Miller's using the black panels here. Black gutters, I'm sorry. The black gutters throughout the 17-page, I'll flip through a few more pages, 17-page run. Now, the first and most obvious thing he's representing here is the literal dark that is Gotham City at this point. There's been a nuclear blast that's knocked out the power grid of the entire United States. And this blast has obviously knocked out the lights in Gotham. Now, secondly, as you can see here, riots are breaking out. And anybody who works for the police can tell you that's a bad thing. Well, really anybody can tell you that's a bad thing. It's just a bad thing, and again, like we discussed with the Joker, dark and black. Black is a dark color and reflects on dark events. So, the riots are bad. It also plays off, and I know this is going to get me a bit of a glare about the pun, but let's reflect on good old Batman's moniker. The one that they use for the title. The Dark Knight. Yeah. I don't want to call Miller out on this one, but I'm pretty sure he's playing on that there. And one thing that I didn't actually put in the paper that this little video is based on, but I just noticed, I think that black often represents as entropy. If the layman's terms, decomposition, that kind of thing. And in this scene, Superman is he was in the blast of the nuclear weapon, and Superman is having to recover, and he's doing that by basically draining the Earth. He's destroying a rainforest there to regain his strength. So, again, it's reflecting on what's happening in the panels. So, since I've pretty much taken up a 10-minute time slot here, I'll just sum it up here. Basically what we talked about in this episode is manipulating gutters can bring an otherwise still comic to life. Gutters can help immensely with immersing your readers in your comic, which, when you think about it, is kind of paradoxical in a sense, because the very presence of gutters reinforces the status of the comic as, well, a comic. So, thanks for watching. Email me any questions you might have. I'll make sure my email address is up on the side. And tune in next time, where we'll be discussing those notorious page stealers, spreads and bleeds.